Hey guys, welcome back to the Kinwoven home. I'm Sharrah, and today we're gonna jump into a video all about home projects, how to prioritize your home projects, how to figure out which one to do first, and I'm gonna show you a little bit at the end some of the plans that I have for this house and some of the projects that I'm super excited to jump into and accomplish sometime within this year and next year. So stay tuned to the end of this video to check those out. As always, if you guys have not yet hit the subscribe button, be sure to click that and thumbs up this video. And today's question of the video: what is a home project that you are about to start, have always wanted to start, something that you're excited to work on? Leave it in the comments below. Oh, and by the way, if you don't follow on Instagram, I highly recommend it. I do give sneak peeks of the house and different things that we're working on, and it's kind of like a obviously more live day-to-day thing. So if you guys don't know about our Instagram, go ahead and follow. You can also see a lot of scout. Okay, let's get started with today's video. Okay, first tip, walk around your house and make a list of all the things that you want to accomplish and change about your home. Don't put any parameters on yourself. Don't think about money. Don't think about time. Don't think about, oh my gosh, that's such a big project and I don't know how to do that. Just dream and allow yourself to envision what the house could be and what you would love to see it become. Second thing I would do is measure your whole house from top to bottom and put it into a 3D modeling program like SketchUp. I know this sounds really overwhelming and a little bit intimidating, but can I just say, you will be able to really visualize the projects that you want to accomplish if you take the time to learn this program called SketchUp. You can download the free version on Google. You can also buy a paid version that's a little bit more expensive, but I'm telling you, it's a really, really good investment if you plan to do a lot of projects in your home. And if you want to learn how to use SketchUp, we do teach that on our design sessions, which is our monthly membership. Just go to kinwoven.com and you guys can click the little design sessions tab and sign up for our monthly design session program where you have access to days worth of video content all about interior design. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. We're using SketchUp for this house. This is kind of how the house currently is, and it just allows me to literally at the click of a button move a wall or paint a staircase or change flooring or put a wall up or whatever we want to do and see what it looks like before we hire anyone, before we pay for anything, and just helps you really visualize, especially if you need some help in that area. Now, once you have your list of all the things you want to do, you have your measurements already in SketchUp, and you have your base model made, now I would recommend, for the third little tip here, is that you guys really, really think about what is going to affect your mood the most. Which of these projects is going to make you enjoy your house the most? Start with one room first and then kind of expand from there. What makes me the most happy, what really affects my mood, is if I'm in a dark, dingy space, I just feel depressed. I don't know what it is. I'm sure there's science behind it or some sort of psychology behind it. Like this room I love, and the sunroom I love because there's so many windows, it's very bright, and it really does make me feel more productive, more creative, and just overall happier. When you walk into our house currently, the first entryway room where the big staircase is really dark, and our living room is really dark, and there's two reasons that they're dark. One, they have really, really dark trim and molding, and the staircase is just like super dark wood. Also, there is no canned lighting in the ceiling. So when it comes to making those spaces feel brighter, I have a few options of how I can execute that, which leads me to tip number 4, which is what is your budget and what can you actually afford? So at this step, you kind of have your maybe top 3, top 4 projects you'd love to do. The next thing is to call contractors, contact painters, call people that can actually help you execute that if you want to hire help, and have them give you a quote. If you want to DIY this stuff yourself, some of these things I'm sure you can DIY. Start Googling them, researching them, looking into what actually is tangible and accessible for you guys to do on your own, and sometimes identifying, well, this project is going to take forever and we could mess it up, and it just might be easier and simpler and cheaper in the end to hire a professional. So you kind of have to figure that out. For example, what makes me happy is a light and bright room, right? Well, in the living room and in the entryway, 2 things that could help me brighten and lighten that room. One, I could paint the molding or paint the walls, or I could put can lighting in the ceiling. They're plaster ceilings, so I'd have to redo the ceiling, which is very expensive. However, I'm curious to know how expensive is it actually gonna be. So I will call both of those an electrician or a painter and electrician, have them give me a quote, and I'll probably prioritize the project that's gonna be cheaper, that'll still give me a great result and still allow me to have a light and bright room. And I'll save this more expensive project for a little bit later on when we can save for it, we budget it, and it's actually accessible for our time frame and our budget. Both will achieve the same goal, but they're gonna be different prices. And then once you figured out what projects make you happy, what it actually is gonna look like through SketchUp, what it's actually gonna cost, and what you can actually realistically do with your timeline and your budget, and you start to actually execute these projects and see your house transform, which is the most exciting part of this whole process. Now for a few things that we are gonna do that I have planned in this house, as I mentioned, starting in the living room and the entryway, I really am excited about painting the molding and the wainscoting and the staircase of that area. I know it's gonna be controversial for a lot of you that don't want me to touch that wood and you don't want me to paint it. I totally understand. But at the same time, it's our house and we wanna make it our home. We wanna make it reflect our style, and we wanna really bring new life to this really beautiful old home. And a way that we can do that is by intentionally and very carefully hiring really great painters to paint those parts of the house. That's a great example of what not to DIY. It's actually really cool. There's a ton of historic homes in our neighborhood, and we've been able to see other people that have painted their staircases and their molding from the dark wood to the light wood and still maintain the really beautiful history of the home. And so that's kind of what's given us a little bit more confidence to go in and make those changes to our space. Obviously, I've talked about putting canned lighting in. That'll be another one on our list, hopefully in the next coming months or years. We'll see how much that costs. What I love most about this house is it's a beautiful home that is fully livable without lifting a finger, without touching anything. But there are things that are not necessarily our style. Like for example, the master bathroom. Some of the tile in the shower and the kind of lack of functionality of the sinks. They're just pedestal sinks, which look really cool, and the faucets are really cool, but there's no counter space anywhere. And the only place we have for storage is this really old piece of furniture that the previous homeowner left. I would love to do like a new vanity and kind of just do a full remodel of the bathroom. But again, it's fully livable right now and not something we have to do right away. I think our kitchen is so beautiful. The bones of our kitchen are amazing. The previous homeowner did an amazing job at making over this kitchen. It was an add-on that they did about 20 years ago, which is crazy that 2001 was almost 20 years ago. But they did their cabinets all the way to the ceiling, and they put lights up in the very top so we can put some really cute vases and decor or really pretty plates or glasses up there, and they're illuminated. But the things I would love to change in that space would be maybe the backsplash and the hood over the stove. I would love to change a lot of the light fixtures in this home. That's gonna be a big focus. We do have a lot of light fixtures that we've collected over the years. So once those do arrive, they're not here yet. We're gonna sort through them and see what we have to use, and then I'll probably start making like a list online when I do some shopping to see what I'd like to purchase and then put it in the budget and see if we can afford it. Another project I'm excited about, we have our washer dryer in our basement currently, which is, hey, we have a washer dryer and there's like a whole room down there, but I don't really love going down to the basement. I'd love to bring the washer dryer up to this first floor. So I have a few options of where I would put it, and one of my favorite options that I'd love to see how much this would cost, but as you guys know, this room is very large. And it would be really cool to kind of section off this room and have a laundry room or mud room, kind of where you guys are standing. It would require putting in a wall and kind of creating a new room in this space. So that's something we're gonna get a bid for and see what that would cost. Also, I'd love to actually renovate and totally redo the guest house. That's a huge project and a huge fixer-upper situation out there. The bathroom in there is disgusting. The whole thing needs to be gutted. The only thing I really like in that space is the floors. Everything else needs to be painted, scraped out, wiped down, taken out, redone. That's gonna be probably a project for next year, but I think it'll be a really fun one because it's a really cool space, and it's a space that kind of goes back to my roots of small space decorating and making the most of a really small square footage area, which I have mastered over the last 8 years. You wouldn't know it now than this giant home, but oh my gosh, Scout is like so cute. And then lastly, upstairs, we have one full bathroom upstairs that I would love to totally renovate. I love the floors up there, and it's super old and funky and like totally original to the house, so I'd love to preserve part of it, but we'll probably change the color palette a little bit, update the fixtures, like the shower is a little scary when you go to look at it, and kind of just still stick with the older historic vibe, but just like newer versions of those things, if that makes sense. And there's some really cool brands out there that I'm excited to partner with, hopefully, that really stay true to that, where they have some really cool old design, like traditional design faucets, but they're brand new, so they work really well. Basically, all in all, we have our hands really full for the next like 3 to 4 to however long this will take years. And I'm just really excited about it. But I also know it's a long game. It's not all happening all at once. To be honest, I kind of enjoy it that way. I love the idea of allowing this story to kind of come together over the years, and there's gonna be days where we're like, what are we doing? We're way in over our heads. I'm totally preparing for that. And there's gonna be days where we're like, do we like this? Do we not like this? Do we wanna change it? I don't know. But I'm gonna be totally transparent along the process with you guys and share that with you and how we're managing the stress and issues we run against and lessons we're gonna learn and all those things I'm really excited to share. But hopefully this video, A, gets you excited about home projects you guys have in your home. B, I hope that it helps you prioritize mentally thinking through what you should start with and what you should really execute first. And C, I hope that you guys get excited about some of the things that we're gonna be filming here on YouTube and on the design sessions. We will show you guys some more in-depth stuff on the design sessions in our home, but we'll always show you guys a bunch of stuff here on YouTube as well and on Instagram if you guys follow over there. So we could just have a lot of fun stuff planned. And we have a baby coming. We busy over here. And I'm exhausted already. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I am super excited to have you guys along the journey with us. Thank you for watching. Make sure to thumbs up this video and hit the subscribe button. And make sure you tell me about your home projects that you have coming up and answer our little question of the video. Okay, you guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a great week. Love ya. Bye-bye.